Black history is all around. It happens every single day.
This is something that really needs to be a continuous part of our curriculum, and I think it is, and I think we're also working to make sure it is.
Your job today is you are actually going to be writing a letter to the Ruby Bridges Foundation.
Lift every voice and sing.
I was having a conversation with a student who I said, what would you do? And he said, well, I'm not really sure. I would probably ask my parents, because it's true, it is such a different age and it's hard for them to sometimes conceptualize like how they would put themselves in someone's shoes. So to kind of take a step back and realize that it's not just adults that can make these large contributions to our country and these changes. It's important for them to see that no matter what their voice does matter and what they do matters as well.
Mrs. Henry was the only teacher that would teach me.
Learning about these lessons and these people overcoming these challenges is not just a 1 month kind of thing. It should be kind of ingrained in, hey, you can do this no matter what challenges you face, no matter how different you are, you're going to be able to make a change in the world. I think that's a big part of our Black History Month unit, and moving into like our women's history and stuff like that, just them able to see themselves in these people's shoes.
Really courageous to keep letting her do that even in losing the job,
Our biggest goal from this was for them to see that without these people contributing to our nation and all of the great things that they were able to accomplish despite maybe the challenges that they had to overcome, we would not be who we are today or in the positions that we're in without their contributions.
The teachers have done a great job, I think, in creating a bulletin board that highlights some of the well-known contributions of African Americans to history, but also some less well-known people like Florence Randolph, who was the first female minister of the African Methodist Episcopal Church here in Summit, the Wallace Chapel. The Black experience is unique, obviously, to the American experience, but Black history is American history, and it's a good vehicle to kind of show some of those lessons, both about the challenges and the persecutions and the systemic racism, but also about the great agency that African Americans showed in improving their conditions and continue to. We're also introducing a new course next year, and that was, it's exciting. It's race and the American experience, and one of the things I think is most exciting about that was the initiative for that was student-driven. It was a powerful indicator that this is really important, and to listen to them, it was informative to hear what they wanted to do, and it was very clear that they wanted to know the historical pieces of it, but they're also very interested in the contemporary. They want to know the today, and obviously those two things go together. But I think we have to respect that as we develop the curriculum.
Sometimes it's kind of scary to stand up when it comes to something that you really want to happen, especially when it comes to change in the building. But now that, I see all these changes happening, I'm definitely a little bit more confident when it comes to speaking with the staff or, the vice principal or whoever it may be.
We had a doc with this whole idea of things we wanted to address, and we emailed Miss Aaron and Mr. Woods, and it kind of spiraled from there.
There's so much happening in terms of, social justice and just racism in general outside of our community that they didn't know about. And I just really thought about, our school system and how some of these things we don't really discuss in class. And so when Sarah reached out to me, I don't know, it really inspired me to kind of, hop onto this project and help out as much as I could.
I think the students need to be very much informed through the school system, because I don't know that they're necessarily being informed out of the school system.
Our generation is going to be like the next generation, and people need to be able to identify all these things that aren't okay in the current society. And I think this course would be really great to help people not only identify these issues, but also find ways that they can help solve this problem and ways that they can like take action.
I definitely also want students to know that, you know, if they aren't feeling like they're being heard or like they're feeling, you know, a little bit isolated in their community, I feel like, you know, us being students that kind of worked on this course, they should be inspired to kind of, I guess, you know, reach out to the administration if they see something wrong.
I never really knew how to deal with it, so I would kind of just like laugh it off or just try and ignore that person. So obviously this course isn't going to just end all racism within our school, but if you get advocates that have taken this class and learn how to handle these situations, then maybe these people will be more brave and be able to know how to respond to these certain situations, react, and also prevent it from happening in the future.
I think that's really important to point out. Like, we can have other events as well. It just doesn't have to be, I guess, piled up into one month.